the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine. It's a place I love best, 'cause it's better than the rest. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. There's lights that burn so brightly, in the northeast sky they shine. From the place that Geordies worship, where legends wear number 9. You can travel right round the world, even meet the Pope in Rome. But nothing beats the feeling of when you come back here to home. No matter how life changes, we'll never be far apart. The northeast always home, and it's always in your heart. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV. It's the Eddie Howe press conference reaction. We look back at what Eddie Howe had to say in his press conference today. So before I get into that, in any comments, if you like what you see, please hit the like button. It really does help the channel up with search results, so smash those likes, please. Thank you very much. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. It's free to do so, helps the channel grow. And also bell notification will tell you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows as well. So thank you very much, guys. And I'm currently on 278 subscribers, so 22 away from 300. Magnificent achievement that is. Thank you, guys. Comments, Paul straight in. He says, hey guys, hi Paul, I hope you're well, mate. And he says, rest in peace David Crosby. Yes, an American singer, sadly passed away. And yeah, that was a bit of a shock. Paul says, one now, tune tomorrow, Isak to get it. Do you know what? That would be absolutely fantastic if Isak got that, wouldn't it? I'll take any win tomorrow against Palace. Rolly says, hi Tony, have a great show. Thank you very much, Rolly. Nice to see you on tonight, mate. Jez says, hey Tony, mate. Hi Jez, hope you're well. Don't normally do a late show, but I've done one tonight. Paul says, hi Tony. Hi Paul, hope you're well. Chris says, hey Tony. Hi to Paul. Chris, sorry, hope you're well. Getting people's names mixed up, yeah. And people talking to each other. Yeah, guys, so now we're obviously being linked to a few players before I go on the Eddie Howe press conference reaction, but there's a name keeps coming up at the moment, and that name is Anthony Gordon. Now, I've said in the past, I don't want to say Anthony Gordon at Newcastle United, but I've sat and thought about it, and yes, but we know how he plays for Everton. He dives a lot, and, you know, he's not the best of players. But I think he's one of these players that he's like a rough diamond, and he just needs smoothing out. And I think Eddie Howe could be that type of manager to smooth him out and probably make him into an even better player than he is at Everton. I don't think Lampard is the type. I don't think Lampard's the type of manager to do that with, to get the talent out of Anthony Gordon that he's got, because there is talent there, but it just needs bringing out. And I think more than anything, Eddie Howe could be the manager to do that. So if he comes, I'll give him 100% backing, as I would with any player. But if he doesn't come, then that's fair enough. Also, sorry guys, DCL, Dominic Calvert-Lewin being linked as well. I really wouldn't want to take him on. He's injury prone. Not only that, 46 goals in 173 games for Everton. That's hardly prolific, is it? And to be fair, I think there's more prolific players out there that we could get a hold of. So, yeah. And obviously, earlier on, we did have some breaking news. And that was in Serie A, where Juventus have been docked 15 points with immediate effect and are now 10th place in Serie A. So could we go in, you know, this may be a chance for Vultures or anybody to go in there and start circling around their players, the likes of Vlahovic, because are they going to want to hang around there? That 25 points off top spot, and I can't see them winning the league this season. So big news in Italy tonight over that. But yeah, comments coming in. Jess says, I'd be disappointed with Gordon, but I've been wrong about so many of our current players until Howe gets the best out of them. Too right, Ches. I mean, look what he's done to Joe Linton. Look what he's done to Almiron. Look what he's done to Longstaff. That's what I'm saying. He could do the same with Anthony Gordon. So we will see. We will see what happens in that as well. And sorry, Ian, I forgot your comment there. Evening, Tony. Evening, Ian. I hope you're well, mate. And Luke says, even though listen to Eddie Howe's press conference on the way home, sounds like there's going to be some movement in the next couple of days. I think there will be, yeah, and we're going to get into the press conference in a moment. Ian says, I think there's better players than Gordon. Sorry, yes, I do agree as well. But we wait and see. We wait and see on that. It may just be rumours by the media. Chris says Gordon could disrupt the atmosphere in a great dressing room. He could do, but there again, he could be a totally different. We don't know what his character's like. That's the thing. Paul says I don't like Gordon's attitude, diving, etc. But maybe Eddie could change that. Yeah, again, Eddie Howe can get the best out of players, and sorry guys, we just wait and see. And Andrew's in the house, and he says, "Bonjour, madams. Bonjour to you, sir. How are you tonight, Andrew? Hope you're well, mate." But yeah, who knows? I mean, you know, Anthony Gordon, could he come? Could he not? We don't know. There's going to be so many links that we've got, and I think there's going to be movement. We're definitely going to make some signings, that's for sure. So it's just a matter of waiting and seeing who comes in. And one guy who's been really strongly linked, and even Fabrizio Romano said, we've put a €16 million package in for this guy from Flamengo, and that is Matthias França. And he can play midfield, he can even play up front and on the wings. I mean, 18-year-old prospect. We wait and see what happens on that one. But there could be a deal there to be done, and who knows? So let's see what happens on that one. But also, according to The Athletic, we are looking for a number 6, and we are being heavily linked to this guy from Ajax, Edson Alvarez. Apparently, he's our number 1 target. So if reports are to be believed, and The Athletic are normally pretty good with when they come up with stuff. So if we're in for this guy, I'll tell you what, let's go and grab him, because he's one heck of a player, and he'd improve our midfield tenfold. And to do all that dirty work as defensive midfielder, absolutely fantastic. So yeah, if he comes into the club, that'll be a fantastic signing. Let me know what you think in the chat, guys. Would you take Alvarez? Because I would, 100%. It's a no-brainer in my eyes. But I'll just go into some comments. Andrew says, regarding Gordon, I've said it before, I'll say it again, I don't want any players. I'd rather slap than much play for us. Fair enough, Andrew. Diaby's the only signing that would make me happy. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people would like a Diaby through the door, so would I. Just saw Klopp's puppet for the new series, a spitting image. The teeth are just not big enough. Oh, God. That's going to be hilarious, isn't it? And cheers on the TTR quiz. Okay. So the Toon Review must have had a quiz on earlier on. But yeah, I mean, like I say, guys, whoever's coming in, it's going to be an interesting month, and we just have to wait and see. I mean, this guy Mokoko, who we're linked with, going to build. They're saying he's signed a new deal till 2026. But it's still showing that he's only got the contract to the end of this season on SofaScore. But now there's doubts. Is he 18 or is he 22? And are we going... You know, it's one of them. We're going back to the Obafemi Martins days. How old was Obafemi Martins, really? Chancellor Mbemba, how old is he, really? I mean, you know, is this another guy who's got about 3 or 4 different birth certificates? I just hope we don't go down that road again. But, you know, this guy's a terrific talent, and whether we get him or not, is another matter. But again, I would take him, but it's one of them we just have to wait and see if anything develops on that, or if he has actually signed a new contract. And I'm sure we'll find that out in the coming days as well. I'm just looking on that site as well, and apparently his according to FBref, his contract ends in June 2023, and he's on £4,615. €4,615 per week. So he's not on a lot of money per week. So yeah, and he's Cameroonian as well. So we can see developments on that one. PR Look says cheers. So yeah, let's get. Oh, sorry, hang on. Paul's put a comment in. Hope you haven't got COVID, mate, but still hoping we get medicine before. No, I definitely haven't got COVID, mate. Just got a dry throat, that's all, because I've got the heating on in the house and it's been really cold out there, so I just got a dry throat through that. But no, I'm absolutely fine. Do you know what? I've never ever got COVID, and I touch wood, I'd never want to get COVID, so I've never had it. And you know, when the first outbreak was on, I was working in a hospital and I stood next to a porter who had COVID. I didn't realise until the next morning when I found out he was in hospital on a ventilator. But amazingly, I've never had it. So I'm absolutely happy that I've never had COVID. But my other half, she's had it twice, and yeah, and again, I've never had it. And even though I live in the same house as her as well, so I must have a fairly strong immune system. Jez says, to be fair, Tony, we know exactly how old Obafemi Martins is in the region, 24 and 67. Yeah, absolutely. Ian says, Paul and Billy are probably still arguing about your win, Jez. Yeah, absolutely. Glad to hear, mate. Yeah, no worries, Paul, yeah. Although I've had a little bit of a cold, but nothing more than that. Have a little sip of malt whiskey to lubricate. I've just had some Jack Daniel's Fire, actually, so yeah. I've had some of that, but yeah, guys. So time now. Let's get into Eddie Howe and his press conference reaction. So Eddie Howe was first of all asked about Chris Wood's proposed move at the time to Nottingham Forest, and he said Chris is having a medical at Nottingham Forest as we speak. He's been a huge player for us. He's been outstanding in every way, because when we signed him, we were in a very difficult league position and he played a huge part on the pitch to help transform the team. This season he's been excellent both on and off the pitch in terms of his leadership and positivity, even when he's not played, so I can't underestimate the role he has played. It was a difficult decision because you have to take into account the player and his wishes, but also I think it's a very good deal financially for the football club. So basically, what Eddie Howe's saying there about Chris Wood is that, okay, we might have signed him for £25 million at the time, and Nottingham Forest have got there's a buy out there. If they want to buy him, they can have him for £15 million. So technically, all in all, if he goes there for £15 million, he's only cost us £10 million, which, to be fair, isn't a bad deal overall. And yeah, and if that's the case, they buy him, and we've only paid £10 million for Chris Wood. You know what? I'm happy with that. But you know what? I think the lad's done his job. He's done well for us. You know, he helped us in a situation when we didn't have a striker. And the only striker we could get who had Premier League experience was Chris Wood, even though he had that £25 million clause in his contract. And I just say good luck to the lad. I hope he does well for Forest, and you know, and helps keep Forest in the Premier League, which I'm sure there will still be a Premier League team next season. So we wait and see on that one. Paul says, respect to Wood, he's done his job. Yeah, absolutely. Wood to Forest's a great headline, says Chris. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah, fantastic one, that. But yeah, couldn't have worked out better for the lad. And it seems like he wanted to go as well. So maybe he's realised he doesn't fit into the way we play. And he just probably wanted to go elsewhere for a different challenge, which that's fair enough. I don't mind that. So after that, Eddie then was asked on the injury of Bruno Guimaraes, who was substituted in the Magpies win last weekend. He said he was devastated to come off the pitch. I probably think he thought at the time he had serious damage to his ankle. The scan did come back with positive news, and hopefully it's not a long-term injury. We're still not sure when he's going to be back, but he's made good progress this week. We'll have a constant eye on the situation. So basically saying it's not a bad injury. There's nothing really there's nothing serious there, not a long-term one, which is good news for everybody. We all know the situation. And Craig Howe put a thing out tonight saying that there's a chance that he could be playing tomorrow. So who knows? But we will wait and see on that one. And but yeah, thankfully with Bruno, it wasn't a bad injury, and he'll be able to play some part. If not tomorrow, maybe on Wednesday or Tuesday, isn't it? Tuesday night, sorry. Eddie then was asked about Crystal Palace, managed by Patrick Vieira. And he says they've had back-to-back goalless draws at St James's Park. Because obviously we had a goalless draw in the league and in the Carabao Cup. And Eddie went on to say they're a very good team. The two games we've had against them have been very tight, although we've probably had the better chances in the first game, the league game, which we didn't take yet, when Isak could have scored as well. The Carabao Cup could have gone either way, so now we travel to their ground, and that's always a tough place to go and go to. It'll be a good atmosphere, and we go there in good form, but we do not underestimate the challenge. Patrick's a very good manager, and they've got some very dangerous players. Yes, they have indeed. I mean, you know, they've got Zaha, they've got Michael Elise. I think he's a terrific player. I mean, that free kick he scored the other night, no one was ever getting near that. Not the best keeper in the world would have got near that. And I'm talking good keepers like maybe Martinez, Donnarumma. You know, none of these good keepers would have got anywhere near that free kick. It was tremendous. So just make sure we don't give free kicks away outside the box in Elise's range. But yeah, they have got some good players in that side. But they're missing Joachim Andersen tomorrow. He's out, so that's a blow for Crystal Palace. But let's hope we go to Palace and get a win down there, and that would be absolutely fantastic. And I'll just go into some comments. And Rowley says, Chris Wood contributed to us staying up. He never was and never will be a prolific striker, but was what we needed last January. Respect and good luck to him. Yeah, absolutely, Rowley. I totally agree with you. He's not an out-and-out goal scorer. He's more of a target man who can help ruffle up defenders, which he's done as well. So, yeah, I've got a lot of respect for Chris Wood. I think he's done well for what he had to, but he had to move on. He even gave us a class goodbye. Yes, he did. I saw that, Rowley, and that was absolutely fantastic from Chris Wood. And big up to the guy as well. Rowley, where did he say his goodbye? It was on Instagram. And even Nick Pope said, that's twice you've left me now, because he left him when he was at Burnley and now at Newcastle. So great response from Nick Pope. Ian says that was the thing with Wood. He did not play at the house style. Could do a job for Forest. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Mark's in. Hi, Mark. Hope you're well, mate. He said, I think we should go for Jesse Lingard, Phil Jones. We will win the Premier League if we get these. Yeah, it's probably a bit of a joke, but I don't think so. I don't think Jesse Lingard's that great player now, is he? I mean, he's not really hit the heights at Forest, has he? After he had that loan spell at West Ham, went back to Man United, and then he just sat and rotted at Man United. I think I don't know. I think he's past it now, Jesse Lingard, unfortunately. Gary says, I wouldn't risk Bruno tomorrow night. Keep him for the Southampton game, Tony. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I would say, Gary. Or, better still, don't risk him at all for tomorrow's game or the Southampton game, and give him that full week to get sorted out. Because remember, it's FA Cup next weekend and we don't have a game, so we've got a free weekend. And then get him back for the home leg on the Wednesday. And that would be even better. Paul says, to be honest, I think the way we play now is better than being at home, as we seem to start faster. Yes, we do. Crystal Palace will have to be on the ball tomorrow if they want to get near us, but let's hope we go down there and we get a positive result from there. And Ches says, thanks, Tony, as well. So, yeah. So after that, Eddie Howe was then asked about the form of Sean Longstaff, who started 20 of 24 games this season. So Eddie Howe says, Sean's been excellent. He's done a lot of work, tireless work for the team in every phase. We ask a lot of our midfield players physically, and especially the wide ones. Sean has played that role on the right-hand side very intelligently. He's physically very good, tireless with energy, and defensively very good, improving all aspects of his game. I think there's goals in him as well, and those will hopefully come in the future. But to this point, he's been a vital cog in our team. When you go back to where Sean was a year ago, there was a lot of uncertainty attached to his future. He's Newcastle through and through, desperate to be here, but wanting to feel valued and wanting to see a path in his future career. What I did see was someone who was very committed and I believe could have an important part in our future. Getting the contract sorted was a really big thing. That was a show of faith. Trust had helped him feel closer to the group. This season, he hasn't looked back. Yes, he's had some great games this season. I think Sean Longstaff, he's looked better. He just needs his finishing boots on. And I think if he does score, he could end up scoring a few goals. But even if another player comes in, he'll eventually be a squad player. But you know what? I've got no problems with him. I thought he had a great game last week against Fulham. And yeah, long may that continue. Wayne says, I think Wood will fit right in at Forest. Yeah, I think he will as well, Wayne. We just have to wait and see how he gets on at Forest. So that's Eddie Howe on Sean Longstaff. And like I say, I think he's been all right. There's some games he hasn't played well, but some games he has played well. The work rate's there as well, but we shall see. Then he was asked about Alexander Isak, who scored the last-minute winner against Fulham. And could he feature in different positions for United? He says you can possibly play Alex in a number of positions. He can play as an out-and-out number 9, a second striker like when he came in against Fulham. He can play out wide, but it wouldn't be his favourite position, but he can play there. That versatility is one of the things that attracted us to him in the first place. I was really pleased with him last week. He energised the group. He came on, made a big difference. The team scored the goal, which was a brilliant moment for him, and hopefully one that can really kick him on. He's trained really well this week. It's a case for me to understand his history in terms of the length of time which he's had been out, and build his training because he's not really done too much with the team and the amount of games we have had. So basically there, Eddie Howe saying Isak's been brilliant, he's played well, and you've just got to manage his fitness, and that's what it's all about, managing. So I would say tomorrow, maybe, if we're comfortable, bring Isak on, give him half an hour, just to build his match fitness up. Once he gets to his back to his match sharpness, we'll see a totally different player. And I believe he could score 15 goals this season. Who knows? But let's see how he gets on. Paul says, very good evening, Tony. Good evening to you, Paul. I hope you're well. Ian says, I think Longstaff's had a pretty good season so far. Yeah, he's getting back to the way he was under Rafa. He lost remember, Sean Longstaff, like a lot of players, lost 2 years of their life under Steve Bruce, and some of them just can't get their football careers back on track. Niall says, big ups, Tony boy. Big up, Niles. Hope you're well, mate. Gary says, I'm going to watch Forest game tomorrow, just see if Chris Wood plays tomorrow, Tony. Yeah, I would imagine he'll probably make his debut tomorrow. They're away to Bournemouth, and you'd expect them to beat Bournemouth. The way Forest are playing at the moment, they're playing some great football. That team are gelling together, and Brennan Johnson is starting to look the part in the Premier League. I know John Sinclair's not too sure about Brennan Johnson, but as I explained it last night, I think he could work well in our team, Brennan Johnson, because he's a terrific prospect and he's only going to get better. The thing with Brennan Johnson is, like I said to John, When he was at Forest, he was loaned out to Lincoln City in League One. When he did come back after that season in League One, which he done really well for Lincoln, he then went back to Forest, didn't really get a look in with Houghton until he was sacked. But Cooper came in, started playing him, and he helped Forest to promotion with his goals and his wing play. And he started off slow in the Premier League, but he's built it up now, and now he looks a terrific prospect. And I think he's going to be one to watch for the future. There's going to be a lot of clubs looking at him, and his price tag's going to be really high. If he keeps Forest up this year, maybe there'll be a scrambling summer for him. If not, teams might want to just sit back and see how he gets on next season, just to make sure it's not a one-off. But I think this lad's terrific. He's got a lot of pace about him, and like I say, I for one wouldn't hesitate to having Brennan Johnson in our lineup. That's for sure. He's only 22, or he's 22 this year, and he's got a contract till 2026. But he's only on 30 grand a week, so yeah, it's definitely doable. Wayne says 2-1 Forest. Would one goal if he plays be a canny 5? I bet. Do you know what, Wayne? That's not a bad shout. That would actually be a good bet. I mean, I bet the odds are good for that, especially for Wood to get a goal. Are you putting on Wood first goal or Wood as an anytime scorer? I think an anytime scorer would probably be the thing, if I'm honest. But who knows? Forest will play to Chris Wood's strengths, that's for sure, and he will get the service. But yeah, I mean, like I say, we've had a few transfer links today as well. But the Anthony Gordon one's not going away at the moment, so we wait and see what happens with that. Whether that turns into anything more concrete or not. But the Athletic are definitely saying that we are looking at Alvarez. So whether that's happening or not, I don't know. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my lineup, which I think will start tomorrow. Wayne says first goal, Tony. Right, okay. What odds are you getting for that, by the way, Wayne? So while Wayne comes back with his odds, the lineup that I would go with tomorrow, my personal opinion anyway, if you agree with me, guys, I would go, you'd have Nick Pope in goal, Kieran Trippier, Fabian Schär, Sven Botman, Dan Burn. Then in the middle, Joe Linton, Joe Willock, Sean Longstaff. And then the front three would be Miggy, Callum Wilson, and I would say ESM. That would be my 11 for tomorrow. So that would be the 11 I would choose tomorrow. And then, as I say, if we're comfortable and we've got half an hour to spare, give Isak 30 minutes and see what he can do tomorrow. There's no harm. It's a 5:30 kickoff tomorrow, and it's on Sky Sports as well, so it's live on Sky. But yeah, I mean, guys, what do you think of that team that I've said? Pope, Trippier, Schär, Botman, Burn, Joe Linton, Willock, Sean Longstaff, Almiron, Wilson, and ESM. That would be the 11 I'll go with if Bruno doesn't make it tomorrow. And to be fair, I think that's a fair shout. But we all know it could be a totally different team under Eddie Howe. We don't know who it'll be. But like I say, we just wait and see on that one and see what happens. The referee tomorrow as well for our game is Craig Pawson. Yeah, we don't really like him, do we? He took charge in our 1-0 win over Villa last season. And also the 1-0 defeat at Everton last season. But he took charge of our game at Man United when we drew 0-0 this season. And remember, all the players from Man United were surrounding him, including Ronaldo, who's no longer there. So his stats for this season is 21 games, 95 yellow cards in 21 games, but no red cards have been issued. His assistant referees will be Mark Perry and Scott Ledger. The fourth official is Anthony Taylor. For VAR, which used to be switched off against us, but seems to be switched on now, is Jared Gillett, the Aussie, who, yet again, another one we're not keen on. And his assistant VAR referee is Gary Bezic. So that is your officials for the lineups tomorrow. Let's get into some. Find out the bookies tomorrow, Tony. All right, nice one, Wayne. Hi, Tony. Which shirt do you think tomorrow night that they'll wear? Well, Palace are in like that red and blue, aren't they? So I think we'll be in our black and white, or we could be in our white and green tops. So I wouldn't be surprised. Or we could even be in the blue one, but I think it'll probably be more than likely either the black and white, the home shirt, or the Saudi kit, as we call it. Chelsea is decent team, Tony. I'd like Isak to stop, but it would be unfair on Maxi not to start. He's been showing positive signs when he's come on. Yeah, I thought he played well. And like I say, Isak, we've got to get him in gently. We can't just rush him in. I would rather bring him on as a sub and give him half an hour or whatever we can give him just to build his match fitness up. Gary says that's a strong team you've gone with there, Tony. Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing. We have got that little bit of strength and depth. Wayne says, aye, can he line up, Tony? Just hope Isak gets some minutes. Yeah, I'm sure he will. I'm sure that's in Eddie Howe's plans to give Isak minutes. Jess says, plus Isak is almost guaranteed to make more of an impact coming on than Maxi would. Yeah, definitely. Chris Vassy has just seen a table of the loudest stadiums in Europe and we're 8th on the list. I'm not surprised by that. Really, I'm not surprised. I'm surprised we're not actually further up there, to be fair. Paul says, not sure which shirt to wear, chat. Yeah, go with an away shirt, Paul. Either your blue one or white one, but go with an away shirt. Definitely. Ian says, I'd like to see Wilson and Isak play together. Yeah, I would as well. I think that's an option. And but again, that might come once Isak's got more minutes under his belt. And apparently we're the loudest in the Premier League, says Chris. Yeah, definitely, mate. That's brilliant. And Chaz asking, are there any English fans who beats us? Yeah, absolutely, Chaz. Yeah, we are the loudest. Paul said, I got both home and white shirt. Get your white one on them, Paul. Chris says, to Chaz, we're the best, but it's nice for us to accept that now. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. White and green it is, says Paul. And Chaz says, yeah. Yeah, guys. So, so I just was doing a short show tonight. This was just, like I say, the Eddie Howe press conference reaction to, what his press conference was today. My video this morning was a preview of the game that was pre-recorded to put on this morning. But guys, if you like what you see, please smash the like button. It really does help the channel grow and go up the search settings. So if you're going out, when you do go off, if you haven't hit the like, then please smash it. That'd be absolutely great. Thank you very much. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. It's free to do so. Helps the channel grow. And the bell notification will tell you when I've got a live video on, a pre-recorded, or any upcoming shows as well, guys. But yeah, we'll find out tomorrow what team this guy picks, and that will be at around 4:30 tomorrow afternoon. So guys, I will be back tomorrow. I'll have a warm-up show tomorrow afternoon. That will probably start at about 3:15, probably about 3:30 or 4:15, but a definite time I'll give you on that one. And it will finish just after 4:30. And then we'll see what team that Eddie Howe puts out tomorrow. And we'll see what Palace team is playing as well. Because they've got some good players in that team, let's not forget. Thanks for impromptu live show. I've become greedy consuming all NUFC content in the last year. that's absolutely fine, Ches. We just love bringing stuff to everybody and keeping everybody happy. Cheers, Tony, says Ian. Thanks very much, Ian. Thank you very much, mate. But yeah, guys, I mean, hopefully we win tomorrow. I'm going 2-0 tomorrow. So let's hope we go down there, break the hoodoo, and let's get a victory at Selhurst Park, and let's get 2 points ahead of Man United. Because remember, Man U play Arsenal at the Emirates on Sunday, and Casemiro is missing for Man U because he picked up his 5th yellow card. So if Arsenal win against Man United, and as we saw Tottenham get beat last night 4-2, then things are looking up. We'll be 8 points ahead of Tottenham. We then be 2 points ahead of Man United, and that would be absolutely fantastic. So yeah, let's hope it continues. And like I say, Tottenham Hotspur, they're just falling away really bad at the moment, and a lot of problems there. Cheers, Alden Seatwell says cheers. And Gary says, cheers, Tony, mate. Yeah, no problem, mate. But Spurs, they are falling away drastically. Some people are saying, why doesn't Conte get sacked? But then if he's out of contract at the end of the season, it might be just worth letting him stay at the end of the season. Then he's going anyway, and they'll get somebody else in. But to be fair, I'm not worried about Tottenham Hotspur, because they're not going to finish in the top 4 this season. That's for sure. They're screwed as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, guys, great to have you all on, and but we'll see you again tomorrow. And from me, it's good night, and enjoy the rest of your evening, whatever you're doing, and take care, and see you tomorrow. And as I say, yeah. So as I say, how are the lads, and see you tomorrow. Bye bye, guys. Bye bye.